Museums from all over the world are invited to take part in the International Museum Day to promote museums' role worldwide, creating unique, free and fun activities around a theme that is discussed within the community of the International Council of Museums, especially for this special day. For the Department of Information and Public Relations, I am your host, BERTA MCKELLY-ADAMS, and with me today I have Deputy Director of the Department of Culture, Ms. Lennard. Ms. Lennard, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much for having me, BERTA. I'm very pleased to be here today to talk about International Museum Day.
We want to begin by speaking about a theme. What is this year's theme and what does this mean for us here in the Virgin Islands?
The theme for this year's celebration of International Museum Day is Museums as Cultural Hubs, the Future of Tradition. This theme has been established by the International Council of Museums, which is an international organization. And it is a theme that museums all around the world and 152 countries that are participating in this year's International Museum Day will be following.
Okay. Tell us some of the treats that you have for the rest of the community this year.
This year, the plans for International Museum Day will actually span over a week of activities. International Museum Day is celebrated on or around the 18th of May every year. And countries have an opportunity to decide whether they may celebrate for one day or whether a week, as close as possible to the day which is outlined, being 18th of May. So this year we have a planning committee as usual, and we've decided to utilize a week, May 20th until the 24th, for the observation of International Museum Day in the Virgin Islands.
If you can list some of the activities that are planned for the week of that we are going to be celebrating the event.
Okay, well, the week starts on Monday the 20th, and we will have the usual radio message by our Minister of Education and Culture, Dr. the Honorable Natalia Wheatley. That will be aired throughout the territory in observation of International Museum Day. We will also have a feature on ZBVI Almanac, so the entire community can know more about what will be taking place. And on Monday the 20th as well at the H. Lavity Stout Community College, I'd like to say thank you for the college for permitting us to have the Paraquita Bay campus as this year's venue. We will be having an exhibition at the Maritime Museum, and we will also be rolling out a project we've been working on, the virtual museum project. We will also be showcasing the H. Lavity Stout room, which is at the HLS Stout campus in Paraquita Bay. A museum in its own right. Okay. And on that Monday, we are inviting all the territory students to come and view this exhibition. On Tuesday the 24th, we will continue with the exhibit at the Paraquita Bay campus, and that day we are inviting members of the general public to come and view the exhibit. On Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, we will actually have pop-up museums in the islands of Virgin Gorda and Just Van Dyke. The Brigado Flax Educational Center, the secondary division, we will have an exhibit there as a pop-up museum, and also at the Just Van Dyke Primary School. The Faulkner House in Enigada, they will also be showcasing exhibits at the Faulkner House Museum as well. And one of the things I'd like to say that is new this year outside of our traditional museums is an exhibit which will be staged in Longlook by the Longlook Heritage Committee. That will be taking place at the Longlook Methodist Church Hall. for the entire week from May 20th until the 24th. So in a nutshell, those are all the plans that we have this year.
Okay. Ms. Lennard, do you mind explaining to us or highlighting exactly what is the role of museums in any community throughout the world?
Well, first of all, before I answer that question, the establishment of International Museum Day is not something new. It is something that the Department of Culture has been celebrating and staging for many years now. And it was first established in 1977 by as I mentioned, the International Council of Museums. And we've been participating ever since. We've formed a planning committee making up of individuals from the various museums within the territory, and they've been very helpful in planning all the activities throughout the year and this year as well. Museums are very important in society because they tell stories. It's a learning experience when you go to a museum. Whatever the display or exhibit is, it tells a story. And here in the Virgin Islands, we have a lot of stories to tell. We're challenged right now because since the 2017 storms, quite a number of the museums were damaged. The VI Folk Museum on Main Street, that was completely destroyed. So we have a challenge, and the remaining museums, we intend to support them. I'd like to encourage our viewers and persons in our community to support the museums as they rebuild. And we see that Old Government House Museum is undertaking their rebuild, and we'd like to encourage members of our community to support that cause. Museums are not just buildings with four walls and pictures on the walls and artifacts. They can also take on different forms as well. We have many cultural icons here in our community. I like to refer to them as living museums. I sit with you or you sit with them, and when you get up from your chair, it's like they've taken you on a trip to somewhere you never expected to go. So we have many forms of museums, and museums tell a story. They're not simply there for old people or educated people to go to, or the technocrats. They provide experiences for all to enjoy.
Okay. Ms. Lennard, I want you to take this opportunity to invite the public, and if you've never been to a museum, if you've never visited our local museums, this will be the opportune time to begin making this a regular for all the families around here.
I'd like to invite everyone in our community, come out, support International Museum Day activities, as I mentioned, from 20th to the 24th of May at the HLSCC Paraquita Bay campus. And we are very excited this year because the virtual museum that we're going to be introducing, it's using technology to showcase our culture and what the museums have to offer, thus taking us back to this year's theme. So at this point in time, just as how you can go on your cell phone, on your computer, and you can view a museum in Italy, and you basically can walk through that hall and zoom in on various images. That is something that we are rolling out this year. So if you can't come to the Maritime Museum or sometime thereafter, we will have that technology available to everyone who will wish to use it to go on that tour at one of our museums here in the territory. So we're very excited about that. I cannot close before actually saying thank you to some persons who have been very instrumental in helping us out this year. First of all, the Department of Information Technology, we like to call them Do It. They've assisted us with the website and done quite a lot of work in making the virtual museum project possible. The H. Lavity Stout Community College, thank you for staging. Of course, the Museum Day Planning Committee. And special mention to the team members at the Department of Culture. I want to particularly mention Ms. Joanne Hill and Stefan McTavius, who are the two persons behind the virtual museum project. And of course, our partners here at the Department of Information and Public Relations, and yourself, BERTA. Thank you so much for everything you do for us every day.
Ms. Lennard, I want to thank you once again for coming out and sharing with us and telling us exactly what is the purpose of a museum, what to expect during the Museum Day, International Museum Day, and of course we are expecting that persons come out and support and be enlightened. Thank you once again.
Thank you, BERTA.
I have been your host, BERTA MCKELLY-ADAMS, for the Department of Information and Public Relations and the Ministry of Education and Culture, discussing Museum Day 2019.